All right, somebody's asked me about these scripts, and there's two types of scripts. There's a drag and drop, and there's a double click script that you can also drag and drop. So I unpacked the double clicks on here, and it's kind of a bottomless pit of writing scripts. You can tailor them to any type of scenario. So you wanted to know if you could set one that's going to buy larger, closer to the market, and smaller, further away. I usually do the reverse. I buy more further away. But if you do buy more closer, you probably have to have targets that might be... So that just goes on forever, how many variations to that. Where the hand-dropped orders, you can see it's a little bit less of over trading. You can see the predefined amounts there, and you can so you can have the the predefined ones are up here. So here's single drops. If you wanted to buy, say here, for all day long, right at this price level, for whatever arbitrary or Fibonacci-esque, whatever your particular taste is, here's a all-day pendings. Now, if you wanted to build the same ratio, risk 25 to make 15, you can see that happening here. When you double-click on one of these double-clickables, it's a different situation, because now, like if I get rid of... So let's say I clear off all these pendings I just put in here and just delete the objects. This is going to look like this. If I double click this, the way that I set up the naming of that would be to buy 10 to 25 pips deep with a 35 pip stop. It lasts for 1 hour. And that's what that looks like now. The take profits you can see on the screen, or maybe not, but that's all hard written in there. I could also drop it on the screen. It's at a different place now because it's based on so many pips away from current price. So this is something you could trade on a tablet. And you have the time here. You can title this anything you want. I just call it canvas because it's going to cover a broad zone. Now here is 20 to 80 pips with a 100 pip stop. I don't think we're going to drop down 80 pips. But in 4 hours we could drop down 80 pips. So you're going to modify this. Now here's where the devil's in the details here. On this script here, very simply, this is how long it lasts at the top. This is taken from the original MT4 script that came up. They stopped putting this in the platforms. But this is my eureka moment in MT4, is that originally came with a ticket here to send a pending order with a 100 pip stop or something, 100 pip to make 100 pips. I think it was actually 10 to make 10. Because in a 5 decimal broker, if it says -3, it means 3 pips. And I just copied that because it just had one ticket in the original. So I copied it, and it copied it, and actually launched more than one ticket. And I said, oh boy, here we go. So here is 20 pips deep, 40 pips deep. So if you want to change the size of this, say you want to put this, if you want to buy denser, closer, here's where you change the size for each ticket. You can also create the name for each ticket. What size it is maybe, what style it is. Here is where you can choose to have an arrow or not. If you delete blue, you have to delete the comma that came before it. Otherwise it won't compile. When you're done editing all this stuff, you can compile it. You can name it whatever you want. These are hard written. These are hard pip set. No matter where you drag and drop this, it's always going to launch in this particular situation. So if I wanted to make this some psychotic script, I delete these forward slashes in front of the tickets. Now, when you do this, you probably want to have a master script that you can edit like this, where you can just switch stuff on and off and off. I compile that. Now I have to rename the script, really, to make it make sense, right? Because now instead of buying 20, so you usually say file save as. You create the name first, and then you write to the name. So you don't, like this is now set to, right, this is the canvas 20 to 80, but now it's going to canvas from like 3 pips all the way down. And it's going to last for 4 hours, which, you know, it's going to probably fill, even though I say here M30, so these comments are wrong. When you get your platform, comments are typically turned off. You'd have to turn them on. So here's the canvas source. Now, if I drop in that ticket I just rewrote, realizing I rewrote this bottom one, the 20, it's going to look like this. Now, you can blow up the account really easy this way if you keep double clicking, but like anything else, right? You overdo it, right? Too much sucks, you break something. So let me delete that, and I'll drop this very aggressive. It's going to buy 3 pips deep. This is going to buy all the way to Memphis. Now you can set the size to be bigger on this first ticket, or you can just put a denser pack in, which is essentially the same thing. So then there's the sell side of that. And this is a sell ticket, I think, with limits. This is the sell side. I made a sell for alt. This is set up for hotkeys, so alt sell and control is buy. This one is going to sell 2 tickets, 8 pips above. The first number here is the size, then we have where it's going to drop it. I usually sell the bid just to keep everything the way it should be. You sell the bid, you buy the ask. So you have to buy back at a loss here. This is like a 10 pip stop, but not really because there's a spread. 8 pips above, 18 pip stop on ask. Take profit as a scalp. Well, not a scalp, but it's not the biggest profit in the world because it's 8 above, 5 below. Add those together, 13 pips. Risking about 10 to make 13 on that if you take the spread out. So the way the syntax is, it's always going to be enter, stop, take profit. Make the comment what you want. I put red arrows for the sells. If we launch A3, it looks like this. As the market's moving though, say the market's moving down, I can keep launching this, and it's going to keep laying that in. Catch a falling knife. You can name these whatever you want, naturally. What makes sense for you. I try to keep the name short. Here I just wrote this because this is a concept of canvassing an area. Kind of just like buy a zone. You can make it so it just buys a super, you could buy 80 pip iceberg down here. Just get in some hairy thing. Now this is truly random. I mean, the hand play stuff is a little bit more now so the thing is that these are hard coded to be a certain thing, whereas this drop here, you have to be careful with these single drops, because if I put a buy down here, it's going to be a buy limit. If I put a buy up here, it's going to be a buy stop. It just flips naturally. So there's actually 3 types of scripts, because the one that was rewritten to just buy on limits here is a limit drop. So here you're canvassing here with pure limits. And this will always be a limit buy, and above it will be a limit sell. Whereas this will always be exactly what it says. It's always going to buy in limits. And I made the limit grids a black arrow. If you turn on the candles, you'll see a circle around the circle gets the square. I don't have the charts. I want to view just standard toolbars here. Oh no, that's not. I would go to charts. So we'll view charts. I'm trying to save. So if you turn this on candles, you'll see a big dot show up. I'm sorry, on line chart you'll see a dot. Bars you see a dot. Candles you just see a little arrow. So they're filling our tickets here. If I don't want to, if I wanted to go for, I'll buy 10 pips deep for an hour. I'll put the one I just rewrote. I'm really looking to buy a plunge. Retest the wick here. This is the British pound. We just opened up London, about to open up. This is my plunge here. So if I really load up here and just go to sleep, just canvas this whole area, and it's going to play out a scenario, or the market should go through the tickets, and then it would play out that scenario if it ever got filled. More likely to get filled here at 3 pips deep than you are to get filled at 80 pips deep naturally. So this is stuff that I've tested, and this is how those accounts get blown up. That I want to see if this will run actually. If you make a mistake in the coding inside of, say that you can't really screw up these drops. But if I put this above here, it's going to be a sell stop. I mean, a sell limit. If I put it below, it's going to be a sell stop. I really don't want to put a sell stop down there as it's going down. So I like to run these hard-coded ones. But you have to be careful because you've chosen the pricing already. And the time it lasts. Now, if this is 15 minutes, I haven't found a broker that'll take a 5-minute chart. But see, this is 2 hours, which is a inclusion from when MT4 was being updated, and MT5 was out there for about 3 years ago. For a moment there, one summer, for about 3 months, the updates were coming in. So when you opened up this to compile it, the 1 and 4 hour, they added the 2, 3, 6, 8, 12 hours into here. But you will not see you see this is blue here. If you make this H2, it grays out, but it still compiles. Because that code's in there. Even though MetaTrader's editor doesn't turn blue, which means you're okay as you're coding it. And if you want to make bigger, I wouldn't make it bigger. I would just make the order pack denser, because if you make it bigger, then you're stuck with one take profit and one stop loss. Here, 0 pips means you're going to pretty much get in where you got out. Spread. Imagine there's no spread, and so this is where it started, and then I found the drops later. The drops are more work. Of course, you're doing more precise placement, where this is shotgun. This is true shotgun trading here. You're just going to kill as many people. This is machine gun. You know, you're not looking for accuracy. You're looking for coverage. When you buy a shotgun, it's got a good spread. You don't have to be a marksman. But if you're a sniper, you want to go for the drops. So it is confusing. This grid drop, these are pure limits always. These you have to be careful. If it says buy, if it's above, it's a buy stop. If it's below, it's a buy limit. So on the very last thing that I published, that's what that runs. This DAX is something I rewrote. It has a wider. You have to add two zeros to the script there to get that to run. So if you go to the 5-minute British pound, you can see that if you would have, if the market would have dipped down here, the spread here is under a pip. And that's something that's really convenient. Convenience means danger, though. Or you may want to layer in a 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour. You could have a daily, weekly. You could trade a lot of other currencies this way. You could just go to the CAD and say, oh, you know what? I think the CAD's going to take a dip of 15 pips in 2 hours. Double-click that. Then come in with this 1 hour for 10-pip dip. And that's where it gets complicated. But I think that's the thing, is that it should be complicated in orders. The order should be complicated. The concept should be simple: buy low, sell high. But where do you buy low and sell high, and how do you arrange those? And with the magic of MT4, you can automate all that stuff. You can also say, I think here I can take profits here. Now I can just say close them all, because I think I just placed a bunch of ridiculous orders. You can start all over again. Go flat, pull out, come back in with, this has been rewritten. And here it's buying denser here, and it's buying more spacing here. You know your risk exposure time-wise. You go to sleep. You can lay all this in. Now, so what I'm experimenting with density, order placement density, and all that, I run it on a demo. Hand placed stuff would look like this, which would be safer in a way. This is still, like, here's 5 pips, 5 tickets, 40 pips apart. That's hand placed. Now that's a little bit more precision, naturally, not to say you can't have, but see, this I can put anywhere on here. To buy that situation there, I can say, well, I want to buy where they're going to stop everybody out. Everybody has their stops here. Let me place an order right here. It's hard to get that precision. Start buying everything below that wick. With this double click, you would have to have an order just for that particular price. So this is sloppy. If I have to look up here and say, well, I'm looking for, I've got to write one that says buy 40 pips deep, right? Or I could just say this. Oh, I don't care. Because once you do the math on this total risk here, now you'd have to do the total risk on here. From the stop, if this is your stop and this is your entry, there's your total risk on all 3 tickets added up. They're all 1Ks. Enter, so you're risking 10 pips here, you're risking 10 pips, risking 30 pips here, risking 45 pips there. Master stop here at 60 pips. So this is very aggressive, 2 hours. But as you can see, edit one of these, you change the whole metric. Also, with the double clicks, I can place a buy stop right now. Double click buy stop. The advantage here is that I can pick how tight I want to get on stops. These are all buy stops, I think, up until, here's buy limits. So the way I wrote it is this is buy at the market. Now this one's unique. This, I think, buys at the market. This is a progressive ticket. We're going to buy a 10K at the market. This is going to make 8 pips. We're going to buy a 6. It's going to make 10. We're going to buy a 4. It's going to make 20. Kind of a soft stop here. They all come in at once. 7 pip stop. We have a tighter stop on the bigger position, naturally. Now, you got to do the math on all that, too. It's a lot of math. Let's buy at the market. So every time I double-click this, you probably want to be pretty certain, maybe the 5 minute. But see, I missed my entry, right? I should have either had a buy stop here, or I had that buy limit grid here capturing. Now I am in 56, using $56 margin and approximately 23K right now. You can get in trouble real quick as far as oversizing. Let me get rid of these things here. I don't want to see these extra toolbars here, the charts up here. I just see the charts the same. So at this point, there's three styles of scripts I'm running. And here is, I set this up for the hotkey keyboard, so I can hit my Control 1 key. You'd set this to Control 1. So, or you can hold down Control and hit 1 if you don't have a hotkey keyboard. So right now that's programmed, and I can hit this key, and it just bought at the market. I get in trouble real quick here. I'm in $136 a margin. But maybe I think that's ridiculous. I want to buy here on limits. Real careful buying at the market. This is not the time to be buying the market. The time to be buying at the market was here, in my opinion. I forgot to give the disclaimer. But here at the market, you're also getting filled on maybe hand-placed limits. And the thing is that you could place hand-placed limits just beyond here, but are you going to know which script to double-click here? It's going to be tough, because what if it starts buying just a little bit before there? Well, the idea is that since this is automated in their 1Ks, you can also, here it does not describe in the title what the total risk is. And that's stuff that really matters. Especially if you're going to, and you can get carried away. When I first did it, I was trading manually up to that time, making quite a bit of money, really trading without stops, because I was just one-clicking it, right? I just ran this. And 7 years ago, I would just hit this like, oh, boom. E-Trade baby, boom. And so then I started write some good anger scripts like this that had like that one of 6 like monster stops, and just buy all the way down. That's when I started to destroy accounts, because at least in manual trading you could say, okay, I'm buying that here. Now here I could run the stops, right? But see, I'm kind of chasing, kind of fucked up. You really got to lay those stops in when the market's dropping, because you want to get in on this thing here. Now you can still get trapped, right? But there's a sell stop key. So if you want to put on a hedge by double clicking, market's going up, click, 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 sell, sell, stop, stop. Now these are riding along. You pick this. Now here's the problem. These will not run. I'm looking to sell 2.3 pips on a stop. This ticket's going to last for 15 minutes, which with the stops I like to have them decay quickly, right? Because I don't want to get involved in a move that is like right now. If there was a lingering, say, buy stop sitting at this price and this price and this price, when it comes up here I'll be trapped on a buy stop. I don't want that. I want to buy in limits down here. And the ATR is maybe too big here. See, the ATR is small here. Double click a buy stop. Not the best trade in the world, but if it has built into it a scalp, it's all predefined. Whereas the drop orders, it's forcing you to think, do I really want to do that? We're here, you've already pre-written it. So here you could say, plan my trade, trade my plan. Here's the plan. There's a trade plan, and that's gets very complicated very quickly. Now, if I want to sell on limits, I think I've got some sell limits pre-programmed into here, just above here. Sell limits. I'm already long. More sell limits. Double-click that. You can also drag and drop it. The problem here is, even on the limits or the stop entries, so now it's going up. I could run sell stops below, get picked up in the other direction. The first thing you need to determine with your broker is if they'll let you trade inside the spread, and to find that out, you're going to hit F9, or is it, let's see, trading, new order F9. And what's going to come up, it's going to be a market execution, or used to call it instant execution. Some people call it, some brokers. And you're going to have a pending order. And if it says here that the opening price must be set to differ by at least 0 pips, it means they'll let you place an order inside the spread. So here the sellers are coming in here at the floor. So I didn't get out of my winners there. Kind of riding the cable punishment here. So you could have had a scalp built into, say, a market order down here. I know that if I bought the market here, I know that that ticket, the C1 ticket, had a, or here I could buy at the market. I could buy in stops now. We pulled back. Do a breakout here. This, let that get filled as it goes up. I might have got stopped out of something. I wasn't paying attention to the margin there. So this, you can write a script here that buys, like, if you push it too closely, if you double click this to buy at a stop, and we've already gone through that price, these could stop. This could hang the script, and the way to kill it is to change time frame. Let's see if I can force it to crash. You're probably not. If your stop is at least a pip away, it's just a pip away. Right? It's just a shot away. Here, you just put the buy stop. I'm gonna force it to crash by putting it too tight. If the spread increases, see that the spread just got wide there. It's my news coming out here. It's 3:30 in the morning. But so that would affect, it might hang. And the same thing with the limits, but they're letting you trade inside that spread there. They rarely hang unless you start to just power push this. If you just start clicking like a madman, it's just dropping now. Buy stops on top, right? Buy limits here, 15-minute, and this might even be a buy. No, these are buy limits. So you can set the keyboard up to. Okay, so I'm buying up pullbacks with limits here. When it gets down at the end of 5 minutes, I'm on the 5-minute chart. Then I could say, okay, let me put some buy stops in. Bracketed. I have bracketed with limits. Everything's gauged to buy. Keeps dropping into my limits. Picks up. Watching the margin at this point. Okay, so these are like confirmation, or I could just buy at the market, right? These are giant buy. Okay, I'm getting filled on limits here. More 15-minute limits. These are deeper ones. Okay, getting filled. Okay. Now, the buy stops are pending above, so you don't want this order to last too long. As I go down to 10s, these do last longer. So it's really quite a bit. When you're double-clicking like that, it's totally different. Whereas manual, this is semi-manual trading. When you do a drag and drop and say, oh, well, I'm going to put in a limits here. And, but I've done a lot of double-clicking. I think I got like tendonitis on my thumb when I was testing these one time. You can delete the objects to see where your new orders are coming in here. So buy limit here is different, you know, saying, well, I'm going to buy here at this low is a little different than this complete pre-programmed shotgun method of, okay, I'm just buying. Any dips I'll take any dips. All right. So here are the buy stops, right? Too late to sell, in my opinion, on the 5. You trade the time frame you're on, though. I could look at the 4 hour too. But see here, you can see that if I put in, I'm going to buy 15 pips deep for 2 hours, you're like, that looks like a decent place to get in. Here you can get duplication because you really, these are hard-coded prices. If you double-click that too many times at the same level, then they'll start stacking up. It's in an uptrend. We have a top bottom of the 4 hour right now, British pound. Big pullback here. Now you could have got in here with their sell stops if you were awake for this trade. When it was up here, the ATR got small. Here's when you put on your hedge. ATR entry there. Very simple. We're at maximum zoom in on MT4. Another thing is that if you have the hotkeys running and these are pre-programmed, you're going to save real estate. Here's the buy stops. If this thing goes up, I want to get picked up in the stream. We've come back to the fair value, all these tops, right? This is the middle of the road. This was the amazing. I don't know if you caught this last night. This trade here was great. And once again, this is the triple bottom here on, I'm sorry, there's a triple bottom here, 1, 2, 3, and then we crush down below. See this big liquidity hunt here, stop hunt, what do we call it? Amazing place to get in. I said last night buying that pound, but you had to take something off the table because it came back and it raped you. In other words, in the other video, I said let's buy, but see it dead cat bounce, double bottom, 50 pips deeper. Insane. Why did the market stop? Why did the market come in here at 100 pips deep and come to here? Because this was the floor, right? Then we went full auction. We took that out. But where do you have to go before that? We have to make a new low, engulf this whole thing. So you want to ride the engulf. Engulf is, if you're going to get on an engulf after it happened, you're risking tons of money. Like if you buy now, you just engulfed here, right? You just engulfed the daily. If your orders last all week, you can see the problem there is you're going to be exposed to so much potential if all those tickets fill. Okay, so now I'm in 100K. And we have to let this go up now. If you don't think you're in enough K, just double click here and maybe this is 1K. So this is 2, 3, 4. Add some more K on stops only. If you're really bullish, then start throwing in these buy limits. If you want to hand place something at a precise level, of course, this is a bunch of tickets here. And then the actual single drops, which you could also, single drops, you can place these above and say, oh, I'm going to get a stop. Buy stop right there. The nice thing about the double click stop is it's saying, oh, I'll get in 3 pips above. You already got that number and you know the targets, and some of these targets are scalps and what have you. I still got those sell limits up there, so if you're just trading one currency pair, you're going to have to go here by price and pluck off those sell limits, or you would probably stretch this chart out, hunt down the tickets. I go to comment and hunt down the tickets and start plucking off these sell limits up here and the buy stops too, maybe. So close ticket, and this closed ticket deletes whatever you drop it near. Maybe you want to leave the sell limits, the high ones up there, the ones that are higher. Okay, we're plunging down here, picking up more tickets, picking up more exposure. Get rid of this sell limit maybe. Certainly the buy stops, you'd want to get rid of those if you've already got in too big. See these buy stops up here? There's a 2K buy stop there, I think. So close these tickets off, right? Now they're not letting me take that off for some reason. Okay, it's smashing down here again. It looks like it's smashing. It's just a 5-minute chart. Okay, buy limits. 15 minutes maybe here. Buy stops. Depends how bullish you are, I guess, or how much you want to buy this plunge. Okay, 5 minutes is going by. Stop buying here. Let the thing play out. And that's about it. Now, I can put just this, just these scripts here, the sells, but you kind of have to figure out what you can handle as far as risk in the end. Say I just got stopped out of something. Probably the market orders that had the super tight stops. So I'll just buy back at the market. So I can get into a giant position here. It's just I'm in 1.5 standard lots right now. Took a little equity hit there. Now we could have had sell stops. You get whipsawed if you try to micromanage this. You could have sold here on stops or limits or at the market, and you could have rode it to here. This would be the shoulder. If you consider that head to be the spike, you'd want to be buying here, right? And I don't know what news is coming out. It's just the markets are open over there. So it's a big sale. Currency went on sale. Buyers are coming in here. They overshoot the runway. You can't be that precise in trading. I thought you could be, but it's a land of noise and slobs and garbage. You have to. I just watched this guy who said that the Akel Stokes guy really knows his stuff. This Forex Fusion guy. I went to his site. He's got indicators. He's got a dashboard. I tried dashboard trading. I felt like I was looking at the idiot lights on my car as I was running over children. Okay, see, I'm not in enough margin now, so I got to buy more. And those are scalps. Don't forget. These are long-legged. I think targets on these buy stops. So, once you get this thing programmed, you'll realize, oh, that's a scalp ticket. Now you could write scalp on this ticket too. But I could put this as it stands, and of course this is really fraudulent because this is not 20 to 80. I rewrote that. So everything you run, you got to test it on a demo. Make sure it's not going to blow up the account, right? So hopefully at the top of the hour we're going to be out of this trade. 5 minutes. 5 minutes before and after the top of the hour is big volatility spikes. Either direction, and that's that. So I'll just put these scripts here in a folder on its own little, we'll just call it double click trading, even though they will drag and drop, but they're hard coded for the sizing and all that stuff. This is the pound to Australia here, a little worse spread than the actual pound. Okay, so the sellers should be coming in here, but we could just spike through that. Or I could hit the take all profits key right now. So you have an option there. If you think that that's the scalp you want to be in, it would look like this. Close all profits. And depending how quick your server connection is, just go flat. I think I'm holding onto something here. Some losing trades here somewhere. Oh yeah, I just got in at a bad price on here. I'm holding on to a bad entry on the pound Australia. Oh, those are sells. I just got filled on those sells. So this is the thing. If you have pending sell, and those are sell stops. that I placed up there saying the last thing you want to do is put a sell stop in there. But, or you can just close off, right? You don't like what's going on, you're up. It's going to have to close all these pendings before it takes you out of, there you go, now you're flat. Now you could say, you know what, I really like that trade, let me put some buy limits below, walk away, go to sleep, right? Oh wait, it's still deleting stuff. Don't launch anything till it's clear. Okay, so I put in this, I put in this, and I put in another super tight pullback. Inside here, you're going to find I've turned these all on. If you want to turn them off, put 2 forward slashes in front of the so I'll just, so nobody blows up their account, I'll just turn these very close ones off. And now it actually is pretty much what the script says. Recompile it. It's very aggressive to buy 3 pips deep. It's a very aggressive situation. So maybe so we're set back to the normal spacing now. This is going to buy 20 pips deep now. Very conservative. It buys it looks like it buys every 10 pips, but you can set that how you want. There's no holy grail. There's no magic script. Just like there's no magic indicator. These are sell limits up here. And you could just hedge it. C keys are buy, A keys are sell. So I'll just put these, everything from A1, you can make a sell canvas. Yeah, so that's it, that's trading. And top of the hour is going to be here in 30 seconds. I don't know if there's news coming out, but like I said, top of the hour is a vicious place to be. 5 minutes before and after the top of the hour, you can see complete chaos. And it looks like we could go up here, so you put some buy stops in. Depending how you want to get in, or remain to buy one at the market for the scalp. There's no arrow on the market order, though. The market orders, see, if I buy at the market, you could put an arrow on there if you wanted to add it. You just need to add a comma after expiration and put the color you want. You have to use Windows colors, which start with a capital letter. So if you wanted gray or green, dark green, I think there's about maybe 60 colors, I don't know. And that's how that looks. That's how it rolls. Okay, so good luck with good luck blowing your account up is all I can say.